I know everyone's wondering why things are so weird. Let's explain it one nugget at a time. Today we're going to be covering the Order of the Skull and Bones. They go by a few names, mainly the Skull and Bones, but they're also known as the Order, Order 322, or the Brotherhood of Death. These are the names given to the undergraduate senior secret student society at Yale University. There are two locations associated with them. The Tomb. This is the clubhouse for the Bonesmen, located at 64 High Street, next to the Yale University Art Gallery. And then there's also Deer Island, which is located in the St. Lawrence River. It serves as a camping ground and retreat for the Bonesmen. In 1832, Huntington Russell and Alfonso Raff co-founded the Order of the Skull and Bones after a dispute with other Yale societies over academic awards. Then in 1856, Russell Trust Association was incorporated, and to this day still manage all the order's assets. The first time the order was mentioned publicly was in a book called 4 Years at Yale by Lyman Bagg. The book was published in 1871. The Skull and Bones were a male-only group up until 1992, when they started accepting women into the order. Every year, they select 15 students to join them at an event called Tap Day. Another thing to note is that in the 1970s, the members list became secret, so we only have records of members pre-1970s, unless those members came forward. While on the subject of members, it was customary back then for there to be segregation between races and religions, so because of this, the members are almost all white Protestant males. As you may have heard me earlier refer to them as Bonesmen, this is the official name for a member of the Order of the Skull and Bones. Some famous Bonesmen would be George W. Bush, his father, and his grandfather, John Kerry, Stephen Allen Schwarzman, the co-founder of BlackRock, Stephen Mnuchin, the United States Treasury Secretary, but you should look up the full list, it's very impressive. Now, for their clubhouse, referred to as the Tomb, it's a neo-Gothic building. It was built in 3 phases. First in 1856, then in 1903 a second wing was added, and then 2 towers and a sealed-off courtyard was added in 1912. As for Deer Island, located in the St. Lawrence River in the Thousand Island region, it is a 50-acre island only accessible by boat, the closest dock being a small town called Alexandria. Today it stands overgrown with a large cottage and a few stone buildings. The last major event that put the society in the news was the 2004 presidential race, with John Kerry and George W. Bush both being members. They were both asked about their affiliation with the group and both said it was secret. And in 2009, Geronimo's descendants sued the Skulls and Bones for having stolen his skull. The case was dismissed, but more on that later. Now, the Skull and Bones have been accused of many conspiracies, ranging from being Illuminati to the assassination of JFK and running the one world government, but we'll stick to the ones that hold a little more weight and that are exclusive to this organization. As I said in the beginning, the Skull and Bones are sometimes referred to Order 322. This is because they count the years starting at 322 BC. They say this is when true civilization began and barbarianism started to be eradicated. It's a reference to Greek orator Demosthenes' death. This signified the end of the Lemnian War, where the Athenians were forced to dissolve their government and establish a plutocratic system instead, meaning only people in possession of 2,000 drachmas or more could be citizens. Drachmas are Greece's currency, and plutocratic system, or a plutocracy, is a political system where the government is ruled by the richest. Another interesting aspect of the Skull and Bones is they use their own time, although this isn't that complicated as it's simply 5 minutes behind common time, which they refer to as barbarian time. The group, due to their themes and secrecy, have been accused of witchcraft and occult practices. They have also been accused of stealing skulls from famous North American historical figures, notably Geronimo, Pancho Villa, and Martin Van Buren. This is because they have a practice called crooking. Crooking is essentially each year they try to one-up each other by stealing something very important. And it was this that allegedly led Prescott Bush, George Bush's grandfather, to steal the skull of Geronimo during World War I. And now let's have a quick note on their initiation rituals. The most notable thing is it includes them laying in a coffin naked and recounting their whole life history, including their sexual history to all the other members. Another important thing to note is, as far as we know, this organization is one of the few that doesn't require a monthly, or should I say yearly, due. So in terms of monetary worth, this organization doesn't have any. It has no pledges giving them money other than any money that people voluntarily give them, which could account for why Deer Island is in such a state of disrepair in terms of the overgrown vegetation and the stone buildings being all burnt out, more or less, except for those in part of that main cottage area. I hope you liked our summary on the Order of the Skull and Bones. Please comment, like, subscribe if you want to see more videos like these ones. Have a good day.